So as it is today...
Mr. Uwazurike, some people will say that we've moved past that a long time ago, that this matter has been sorted out by the courts, and that now when the state of emergency is declared, the National Assembly has to step in as well, and the governor of the state is not removed. So when you say that, are you going far back to Obasanjo days, or don't we have a current precedent that we should be going with?
Well, I'm going back to this extent because we had a general in office, now we have a general in office. Military men have one way of thinking, one way, straightforward.
He was elected president.
Listen, military man I'm talking of, I'm not talking of military president. I said a military man was in office. He was elected, just like this one is elected. But they're both generals, and they never forget who they are. So the one thing they don't like is called challenge. If you have a military officer who is a friend, be careful. If you argue too much with him, he sees that as subordination. So even when they're in office, they never forget who they are. What is happening in Abia State? Nnamdi Kanu is facing trial. Allow the court to work? No.
Well, the military friends who are there, who don't see it as such, who don't all come across the same way, but I guess it's different strokes for different folks. But looking at this matter, with a view to seeing how do we solve this matter now, let's look at some of the action that happened previously. What would you say to those who say that, well, some of the youths did not conduct themselves properly, and so they left a lot of people, perhaps the military, with no option as to come in and see how they could douse tension, especially when they thought that maybe the police was being overwhelmed with the situation?
Well, there's an expression is how they can douse tension. Army does not bring peace. Army goes for war. It is the police that is the peacekeeping organization.
But we've seen military and police in joint patrol with civil authorities.
Oh, they are talking of joint patrol.
States.
Always led by a policeman. Joint patrol. Always led by a policeman, because police is a civil institution. Army is not. Army officer in operation sees you as the enemy. It's the nature of their training. There must be war. So when you give them kit, you give them weapons, you ask them to move. They're moving to the front. You may not believe me, but the whole of Abia State is now a war front.
What's the first step? What's the first step to be taken in trying to resolve this situation? What must we do first?
I'll answer. First and foremost, withdraw the 82 Division from Abia State. Allow the Ohafe Battalion to manage even though Ohafe Battalion was in operation on Sunday, 13 Hillock truck vans moved into Nnamdi Kanu's compound because they are patrolling. You are in a house, you look out the window, there are 13 trucks. They are patrolling inside their compound, but that's a different case. But the 82 Division has to go back to where they came from. Now allow the Ohafe people to manage the situation that they're managing. Have respect for the government of Abia State. Have respect for the people. If IPOP carries weapons, I'll be the first person to go and tell them to stop.
Let's look at that, because
if I see them carrying weapons, I will tell them stop.
Now, what has groups such as yours, your past president of Arkakinga, what have those kind of groups done to ensure that they tell the youths or IPOP, for instance, to say, look, even if you have grievances or grouse, there are processes, there are ways you need to go about this in order not to send the wrong message and not to let innocent people affected by this, because the way it is now, the whole country, in some parts of the country actually, the reactions and counter-reactions. Did you think that your group did enough to stem it up?
Arkakinga, which is the intellectual arm of Ohaneze, we have always walked in one direction. If you are interested in one thing, go about it peacefully. Ohaneze issued a statement a long time ago, no armed struggle. And we re-emphasized it. And I've been waiting to see IPOB with weapons. I've not seen. I've been waiting to see IPOB with armored vehicles. I've not seen. All I see is young men, teenagers, raising their fists like this. That's all. Is this an offensive action for which you now bring out more cars to come and face somebody punching the air?
Isn't it?
How can it be? I can do like this in my house. I can do it on the street. I can see policemen on the road. I do like this.
But
then the policeman will shoot me.
It seems to be assuming the level of a movement that it's maybe threatening national security.
Let me tell you, in 1968 Olympics, one of the American black runners, he won a gold. On the podium in Mexico, he raised his hand like this. That picture made headlines. Some people thought it was offensive. He said, if you think it's offensive, do your own. If I raise my hand, raise your own.